Welcome back to Open Ranks for Part 4, Combat Outpost Blackfish. Cheers, Tommy. So this podcast, or video, we're going to talk about...
What you want to talk about, dog?
Missions.
What you want to talk about?
Missions,
Basic
but...
training?
No, fuck that. Alright. Iwan, do you remember the first time we got attacked at the outpost?
So, the one...
Or just one that you just remember? Yeah, maybe
really,
one that you really remember. And then I got mine. So, you go ahead.
So, of course, our squad leader was SOG at the time. For some reason, and it being the morning time, when the sun's coming up, and
That's stand 2.
Yes. Yeah. Every time I feel like he was on SOG, we got attacked. And you expected it. I don't know what they had going back and forth, but it happened.
Yeah.
Well, so as I remember it,
Is this like a memorable one or the first time?
yeah, like it might have been the first time while it's stuck in there. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, not the first time we were like attacked, you know what I mean, shot at, but like where it lasted a good decent, and then it was getting to where it was like shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm on BP2, the best BP, you know, just chilling.
Battle position 2.
Got the 50 cal up there, you know, just scoping out everybody, walking their mules and donkeys and sheep down the road.
Jingle trucks.
Yeah, filled with like, what was it, talc powder and stuff?
Fucking knows.
And then, you know, you got the women up there collecting herbs and shit, flowers, whatever. I guess I'll do the same thing if I ain't have anything else to do, you know what I mean? Just be collecting shit. But, everything's chill, and then it's not. And, so, what was it, 1, 2, 3? BP3 had an Artie guy in it. I can't remember.
No. That was BP1.
No.
By the gate?
That was 1?
Yeah, it was 1. And then...
By the new HOZ.
Yes. And
where
then,
the burn pit was.
Yes. That's
BP1.
1,
2, 3, 4. Oh, it went that way.
It was like BP1. I can't remember the cardinal direction for it, but it was like BP1, BP2. BP3 was the mortars.
Yeah.
And
Alright, so
then BP4 was looking over the like the driveway.
Yeah. Gotcha. Alright, and then you had PT Hill. We didn't even talk about that, but
OP.
yeah.
Observation point. We'll get into it.
You just start hearing gunshots, you know, coming in from the mountains. And then, you know, everybody's just kind of, you know,
listening for someone to be like 5 W's.
And then, you know, it's like gunshots, and then, you know.
Or 3Ds, sorry.
Ray's like, well, where's it coming from? Where's it coming from? And he's like, dude comes back on the radio, and he's like, I'm taking fire. You know, he's just screaming, you hear it in his voice, and I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? I'm on BP2, I got, you know, some of his sector in my shit, and I'm like fucking looking out there in the mountains and shit, and then he's like, Black Sabbath 3, and I just took that fucking 50 and I lit all that shit up. Just fucking no questions. Yeah. And it just, I don't know, maybe why it stuck in my mind is because I heard the fear in his voice come over the radio when he was taking rounds. And it was like, fuck, dude. Like, this can't happen. And we were like early in too. Like really early in. And then everybody's running, getting to their supplemental battle positions and stuff like that.
Which I had one.
Yeah. And you started raining down too. You're like immediate. I don't know what the fuck you were doing, but you were there quicker than a hurry.
I was hauling ass.
But yeah, I mean, and then fucking mortars started raining, just blowing everything to shit. Like, I think everybody just started shooting all out there. There there was nothing. There was no more gunshots coming from their end.
Yeah, so, like our outposts, you know, we got shot at, you know, whether it be pop shots were like, you know, like, you know, there'd be one BP that would, you know, usually take it. Or, you know, they'd call in the mortar section, you know, to do a fire mission. But when it was like an all out, like, holy shit, we're being attacked, it was like everyone was like, if they have a radio, they got a phone, they got a gun or a weapon, they got binos, it's like fucking shoot them. And we're underneath SOCOM's ROE, so you know, fell into our ROE that we could, you know, prosecute targets. And so
I mean, we did warning shots for days. Even if they got into an area they weren't supposed to be in, like just start shooting at them.
So
I thought I killed somebody's mule one day because he was in Black Sabbath 5, but he got to the left of it. I called it up, and they're like, you know,
I can literally picture it. It's wild.
Go ahead and, you know, send some warning shots with that 50. It's like, all right. So,
doing warning shots with a 50 cal is like wild. Like you would not do this anywhere else. You would use a point target weapon system, not an area target weapon system.
Preferably M4.
Yeah, preferably an M4, or if you could call it one of the snipers or one of the DMs, it was like, hey, you know, take the shot with, you know, a 7.62.
God, warning shots, 50 in this out there.
Dude. All right. So
I thought I killed the dude's mule because when I sent the warning shots, his mule immediately just fell to the ground. I'm like, fuck, dude, I just killed this dude's fucking animal, you know? But it just let out a loud cry and got back up, and he was like fucking beating hell out of it. Get the fuck out of there.
I can't really say like the first time. I don't know. Everything kind of blends together.
It's like one big mush.
The most memorable time we got attacked was fucking wild. I remember being in the MWR.
Was it at night?
No, it was during the day.
Oh, okay.
This wasn't the Rocket Over Chew day.
Yeah.
This was another day. I was in the MWR and I see this kid, his last name is Wallace, running back to our chew that we lived in. And yeah, Wallace is screaming, woo! You know, like, you know, time to get some. He runs and I'm like, holy shit, like what is going on? Run into our room. I grab a Mark 48 and my 249. You know, so I have a 7.62 weapon system and a 5.56 weapon system that's, you know, an open bolt fucking machine gun. And so I run out to the supplementary, and before I even put one of the bipods down on one of the guns, I remember like, you know, having one of them eventually later on, he was one of my choice, but Sam Warnke freaking jumping up there, and I'm like, hand me ammo, and he's, you know, putting the ammo cans up there. And I remember just panning to the left and seeing the FA crew. They took a 777 and put it, I don't know, almost perpendicular with the horizon. Like it was, I mean, 3 feet over the fucking fence of the gate of our. Yeah, and they fire a direct lay shot, and you know, we know these TRPs like the back of our balls at this point, and they shot Black Sabbath 2, which was roughly 400 meters away. Just boom, a triple, you know, HE round goes straight into this fucking TRP, which was all these Black Sabbath TRPs were like mud huts.
Yeah.
And literally just fucking laced this fucking building. And I was like, holy shit, we are in it. And so, you know, having a very, very junior soldier alongside me on the supplementary position, unfortunately, I didn't have a radio where I was, but Tommy and the boys in BP2 had one. And like, I'm sitting there screaming like Black Sabbath 4 and 5, 4 and 5. And then like, they're like, okay. And they start shooting one of the Black Sabbath. I think the BP, you guys are shooting at Black Sabbath 4. Mm-hmm. And that's when I saw this dude in Black Sabbath 5. And he was on like a ladder. And I look at my Joe, Sam, just looks over at me and he's like, do you see that guy? And I was like, yes, I see that guy. And I'm like, are you gonna fucking shoot? And he froze. And you know, honestly, for how new he was, I would have been like, and I wasn't, that much newer, so to speak, but he came out to us late in the whole deployment, so he hadn't been in that shit. And
we'd been in a story about him too. And I want to bring that up.
And we'd been in some shit prior to this, so it wasn't my first rodeo, my first gunfight by any means. So, and I'm like, do you see him? And he's like, yes, I see him. And I'm like, fucking shoot. And then he wouldn't shoot, and I was just like, fuck it. Just sent a fucking fat burst out. And the next thing I know, Rob, yeah, I went sickly. But Rob, our 18 Charlie, he like ran up to me and he's like, where are they at? And the next thing I know, Fern, our JTAC from the Air Force, he runs over. And quick backstory on this, Fern never carried an M4 or a pistol or anything. His only weapon system that his number one primary was his radios. Because he's controlling air, he's controlling the mortars, he's controlling the FA crew. He's got a lot in his hands. But his secondary, if you will, was a 320 grenade launcher. And this dude literally jumps up on the BP, which was basically 2 Hescos side by side with Air Force pallets on top of it. And then there were some Hescos in front of us that gave us a little bit of a cover. And Fern shoots it. And I'm looking at Black Sabbath 5, and he hits like 50 meters right. And I'm like, no! I'm like, 50 meters to the left, the building. And then he just nukes one over there. And then Rob, the 18 Charlie, looked at me, and he was like, all right, on the count of 3, we're just going to light up that entire building, because if that guy is there's probably more. And we just unleashed hell on it. And I look over at Tommy and the BP and the boys in the BP, and the 50 cal has not stopped. It's just constant, just dun, 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 dun. They're going to town. And so there's no point of even like trying to get their attention to shoot there. They're shooting a different TRP.
We got all this shit.
And
don't worry about me, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I'm running.
And then like at one point, all of incoming just ceases, and that's only because the AWT, the aerial weapons team, there's 260s, AH-64 Apaches that just come overhead, and they're just sitting there. It was so chaotic. I really don't know if they ever fired from the helicopters or not. I don't know if they shot Hellfires or anything, but I think them alone was just such a giant deterrent that no one wanted to fuck with us anymore. And they, they beat feet, but they were scared as shit because they knew as soon as we had our 8.
Once air comes online, then it's a wrap.
Their survivability rate would, diminish quite a bit. So that was one of the craziest ones. Then
good story about Warnke though.
What you got?
So during pre-mode, I don't remember if you're on the bus or not, but I think we were going to a range or something, and he came on to our bus, and he knew, like, we knew our mission. He knew our mission. It was like, it's already in the bag. Like, we got the best mission, and I don't know if our platoon sergeant was on or not, but I think our whole platoon was, but he came on the bus and he was like, hey, I really want to go with you guys, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You remember this?
Yeah. We couldn't take them because it was full.
We were full.
But then the shitty team leader that I fell on, once I got to Blackfish and Tommy wasn't there. He ended up getting told the 7th group team sergeant just fucking hated him, and so they kicked him off the camp. And so Sam, who volunteered to come out to Blackfish when pretty much nobody else would. I remember the Green Berets always saying, like, it's not Cop Blackfish, it's Cop Disney World, because everybody wants to come over to our outposts, get some action, and then leave. They didn't want, they didn't like the living conditions. They didn't like
CIB, get a cab.
Yeah, come over, try to and then quickly in that tour, they're like, the Green Berets are like, no, we're not fucking doing this anymore. Tell your fucking brigade to chill out, like quit allowing people to just fly out here. But yeah, so just because it was such a kinetic area to be in, it's like we don't have time to train you up, tell you our TRPs and all that. It's like
it didn't matter if you're going on a mission or not. You get in action either way, guys.
Mm-hmm. Which, believe it or not, we did have some individuals in the platoon that really didn't get to go out that many times. But I don't know. It was really weird because I felt like with 10th group, they got really used to 2 squads. They got really used to second squad, our squad, and then our weapon squad. They loved our heavy. So our weapon squad, they weren't organic to us. They were actually from one of our Delta companies. And they're a mounted company, so they know 50s, Smart 19s, all that heavy weapons shit that generally light dudes don't really fuck around with. So we basically, it just kind of, I don't even want to say like, it wasn't like a we're better than you. It just was like more of like, we like you guys and you guys do what we say as Green Berets, but it was also like, you guys know what the fuck you're doing. Granted, every squad, rotated out multiple times in this, but it just felt like they got really used to, I felt like we went on our squad as a whole, we went on a shitload, if not every single mission. Ray
came up to me.
There was personnel that were always from second squad going
like,
out.
Hey man, he's like, we need to give some other people chances to go on missions. And I'm like, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Damn.
But then again, like I remember like getting told, like we're gonna go on some
I even became a grenadier, and I think it was their
I remember
Echo. He came up on BP1. He's like, shoot that thing. And I'm like,
fuck
we always up there just shooting.
Yeah,
like
shooting.
we have freedom to just shoot. Like
really anything. Which we're gonna get into in the next episode, Combat Outpost Blackfish Part 5. Stay tuned.